Yeah, fam, this is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions, Beats and Feasts. Hey guys, it's Friday. You know what time that is. Go ahead and smack that like button, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on your post notifications, that little bell down there, so you know when I post a new video, and that's every Friday. So if you don't know, now you know. Go ahead and subscribe, guys. Today we're going to be doing a whole pork shoulder. This is a perfect opportunity to use one protein, and you can do multiple meals, but today I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a pulled pork, and I'm going to do a pork taco. Very easy, very flavorful, and it's homemade. It's all from scratch for your family, so there's no preservatives in this. All right, guys, so let's get started with the pork shoulder. All right, guys, so as always, I'm going to start with my supporting cast. So this is a very easy recipe, and it takes half the time in the power pressure cooker, which is, by the way, what I'm going to be using if I didn't tell you earlier. I'm going to be using my best friend for the last year or so, the power pressure cooker. But here's the supporting cast. So I'm going to be using my favorite barbecue sauce, which is Stubbs. I like the Stubbs original. They got other flavors. You can test whatever you like, of course, and you can use any barbecue sauce that you like. We're going to be using some liquid smoke, of course, a little bit of EVO, some black pepper. We're going to be using my lye seasoning salt. Then I got some adobo seasoning. And then I'm using just regular iodized table salt today. Normally, as you know, if you watch my other videos, I use my pink Himalayan sea salt. But I'm using quite a bit of salt today, so that pink Himalayan can get expensive. So I'm going to be using my table salt today. And then I'm going to be using, this is just some whole garlic. And then I'm using some more garlic powder as well. Some beef broth. And then in here, I have some onions cut up, along with the star of the show, my pork shoulder. This is about a 7-pound pork shoulder. And I bought this at my local grocery store, so I caught this on sale. Otherwise, this cost me like $7, so it's pretty good, guys. So let's get started here. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna season this up here. The very first thing is I'm gonna add some garlic to this. Okay, so it's very simple. I got my whole cloves of garlic. I treat this like I do like a pot roast. I'm going to insert some garlic internally into the pork shoulder, just so some of that garlic flavor can get through it. We got to season this. If I turn this over for you, as you can see, it's got a lot of fat on it. So what I'm going to do is insert some garlic so we can penetrate some of that fat. All right, so basically I take a little paring knife, and I'm going to push down in here and make some holes into the pork. Grab a different piece of garlic here. This is not going to be a big hole. All right, so once you've got your hole there, I'm just going to take one of my cloves of garlic, if I can get it out, and I'm just going to simply insert it into the pork shoulder. And then I'm going to go ahead and make another one. Now be careful, guys. There's a bone in here, so you obviously want to get around the bone. So I just make another hole. And I'm going to insert another piece of whole garlic. Sometimes it's a little stubborn. You got to push it down in there. All right. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do 3 cloves of garlic, or 3 things of garlic in here. And third hole, insert my garlic. There we go. So we need to get it past, the fat and get it into the actual pork shoulder. So the next thing we're going to do is add my seasoning. We got to season this pretty liberally, guys. So first thing I'm going to start is with my normal table salt. You think you're putting a lot on here, but you got to really generously season this. So I got my salt there. I'm going to do the same thing to the reverse side, so don't think I'm just doing one side. Then I'm going to use just my normal table pepper, my black pepper. Season that real good. Make sure you get it everywhere. All right, guys. And then I'm going to use my lye seasoning salt. I don't have to put a lot of seasoning salt, but I am going to put it, I got to be kind of generous, but I'm using a lot of salt on this because not only does this have salt in it, of course I'm putting my regular table salt, then I'm using my adobo seasoning. My adobo seasoning is basically a seasoning salt with some little kicked up, it's kind of got like some South American or Mexican spices to it. So I'm adding quite a bit of that. And then I want to use my garlic powder. And of course I inserted the garlic, but I want to use a little bit of garlic powder on the outside here. All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is flip this over. I'm going to do exactly the same process on the other side. Now this side has the fat on it, so it's got quite a bit of fat on there that we got to get through. So first I'm going to start with my table salt again. And like I said, I'm adding this pretty liberally. I mean, I'm not being shy with this, but remember, it's got all that fat to get through. And of course my black pepper. And forgive me, I'm gonna go ahead and start up my, and I'm also using the Copper Chef Pro here, guys. This induction heat top oven, or tabletop, basically, it's a hot plate. But I'm using that. This has been another one of my good friends here this year. So I'm using that. I'm gonna heat that up. It heats up pretty quickly, so I'm gonna add my olive oil now to it, okay? Just a little bit, so because we're gonna sear this off, and I'll speak about searing the meat here in just a moment. You gotta coat the whole bottom of the pan there, guys. Finish adding my pepper. Sorry to be so flaky. I'm going all over the place here. All right, so I'm putting this on very, very liberally. I mean, this is the fat part, so it's got to get, like I said, it's got to get through that fat. And then my Lowry's again. All right, and my adobo. And you can pick up adobo. I mean, I think every grocery store has it now. I think I got this from, I think it was just a normal Kroger, if I'm not mistaken. And then I got my garlic powder, just a little touch on top. All right. So with this one, I'm gonna rub it in just a little bit. I'm gonna pat it down because I'm gonna pick this up and throw it in the pan here, which I'm gonna start now. And I'm gonna put this on sear. It's gonna take just a few minutes to get up to temperature. It's very, very, very fast. I'm back here, so we're gonna simply just take this. I got a smoking hot pan here, which you have to have. We need to sear that, guys. So I'm just gonna take the pork shoulder here, and I'm just gonna simply put it in the pan just like that. Oh my God, you hear that? That's what you need. You need to hear that searing. So we're just gonna let this sear on both sides, and that just basically locks in the juices before we put it in the pressure cooker, because this meat makes a lot of juice by itself, but we need to lock in as much as we can. So we're gonna simply just sear that off here. It's gonna take about, I would say, 5 minutes per side, and then I'll be right back and I'll show you what I do next as far as the pressure cooker goes. As you can see, I have a very nicely seared off pork shoulder here. It took about 5 minutes per side. We're searing in all the juices in there. So once we put it in the power pressure cooker, you know, at least it keeps some of its juices inside so it becomes nice and moist. All right, guys, so the next step is the easiest step ever. Now, if you don't have a power pressure cooker, which I do advocate for because I love this thing. It's been my best friend for probably the last year, as I stated earlier. And you should invest in one. I think they're about $100, maybe $126, $28, something like that. You can pick them up at the Amazon store. You can go out and buy it at one of the retail stores. But anyway, it's a great product. I love it. So is the Instapot. Nothing against it, but this is what I have. All right, guys, so the next part is the easiest part. I've added some onions to this, to the power pressure cooker, as you can see. Just a little bit of onions to give it some flavor on the bottom and maybe hopefully keep the roast from sitting on the bottom, but that's not really a big deal. It's gonna fall apart. So we're just gonna simply just take the whole pork shoulder, and we're gonna stick it in the power pressure cooker. It's almost too big for my 8-quart, but this is an 8-quart power pressure cooker. This roast is about 7 pounds, or this pork shoulder is about 7 pounds, I should say. It's gonna take probably about an hour is what all the recipes say, but after doing this a few times, I've noticed I've cooked it for up to 2 hours and it's totally just succulent. So I don't think that an hour is gonna be enough. I'm gonna put it on for a couple hours and we're gonna add some liquid smoke. So this is what's gonna give it that smoky flavor like you're smoking it outside. Put in about usually about a teaspoon of this. And then I'm gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth. I use chicken broth, you can use beef broth if you want. I'm gonna use all that I got here, which is about 2 cups. So we just need to give it some liquid in there, so. All right, other than that, that's all I'm adding to this. This is perfect for my pulled pork. It's gonna be wonderful. And for my tacos, my pork tacos, it's gonna be great. So the next step, as you guys always know, as I've done this before, I'm gonna add my lid to the power pressure cooker. Pop it on, and then I'm just gonna line up the pressure. So I'm gonna line up the little arrow with the line on here. And I'm just gonna simply put it on 1 hour. So I push the meat chicken button, and I'm gonna increment it to high with the round button in the middle for 1 hour. And it's gonna start going around. There we go. It starts going around and around, building pressure. And by the magic of YouTube, I'll be back in a few minutes, but it's gonna take a couple hours, guys. So, as I said before, through the power of YouTube, guys, came back, I cooked this for almost 2 hours. It was 1 hour and 50 some minutes. All I can say is this, it's still hot. You can see the steam, I think. Look how clean that bone is, look at it. Look how clean that is. It came out, I didn't even have to pull it, it was just laying there. I just pulled it out a little bit. Oh my God, this is amazing, guys. So I'm gonna put this aside. And as you can see, the meat, super. Oh my God, it just falls apart. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna sneak a little bite. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so good. Hey guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this apart, separate it, add my barbecue sauce, add my salsa for some tacos. I'll be back with the finished product, guys, okay? Another perfection on the plate, guys. I did it 2 ways, so it's 1 protein, 2 meals. So I got my little shredded pork taco here with some little bit of pico de gallo with some queso fresco shredded and some queso cheese, I should say, shredded, and some sour cream on top. And then I got my barbecue pulled pork here on a bun. Hey, that's 2 perfect meals on a weekday night. Very fast, easy. You can put it in a crock pot. I use the power pressure cooker. Cuts down on the time. Like I said, it only took about an hour and 50 minutes, 2 hours. Hey guys, if you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. I do a video every single Friday, guys. All right, so this is Big Tone signing off. Peace.